Geek Insider presents Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky with Matthew Harris. He's taking a closer look at some of the wonderfully weird, gloriously geeky, and freaky things in our world.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky. I am your host, Matthew Harris, as always. And tonight, guys, we're going to take a break from the downright freaky side of things. We've covered, the Mandela effect and time travel and all kinds of stuff the last few weeks. But tonight, I got a special guest with me. It's Cara Nicole. And she has definitely got something geeky and really cheeky going on. And so help me welcome to the show, everyone, Cara Nicole. Hi there.
Hi.
Great. Hey, Cara, tell everyone, in a minute I'll reveal how well your little campaign is doing so far, but tell everyone a little bit about yourself and what you got going on.
So my name is Cara Nicole. I have two first names, and I am known as AZ Powergirl or Arizona Powergirl. All over the place. I have done tons of different crowdfundings for different kind of books. I am a professional cosplayer. I'm actually in costume right now because I'm shooting today. And I wrote a book called Confessions of a Cosplay Diva. And that was a pinup confessional about like being a cosplayer and what it's like on the inside. I also co-wrote a comic book called Firebitch that some of you may have heard of that did very, very well. Firebitch 2 will be put out right after my calendar, my 2021 COS-LINGERIE calendar is sent out. So, this is what I do. This is my full-time job. I'm also a comic book colorist, and I've done quite a few covers for different creators, cosplay-wise as well as art-wise. My husband is artist Alfred Trujillo, who does my photography and line work and co-writes with me. We also do music. We have an album coming out as well as some singles that were stretch goals for my calendar campaign. I was a model for Magic the Gathering for the Amara Tandris cards. And I've been published, like people have talked about me all over the world, CNET, Forbes magazine, Heavy Metal magazine, just everywhere. So that's kind of like a little snippet of.
And that's great. And excuse me. And guys, if y'all are listening out on Indie Volt Radio or you're listening on the podcast, trust me, you want to go and tune in on the YouTube. Go to YouTube look up Geek Insider because you're going to want to see not only Cara here right now, but you're going to want to see this calendar that she has put together. And that's going to be now. I know we only have 5 days left of the campaign. When is this calendar supposed to ship out? And then I'm gonna get Meredith to pull in the Kickstarter page, and we're gonna show it off a little bit.
So the Kickstarter campaign ends this Friday, and then everything will go into the CrowdOx survey while we get everything ordered. So we're shooting to get this out as soon as possible. We're looking at shipping in November.
Beautiful. And now tell everyone, you said it's a lingerie cosplay calendar, but that just doesn't really do this justice. Tell everyone what you've got going on here.
So I've done multiple calendars since 2017, and I've got 3 different cover options for this one, and it is a cosplay inspired lingerie calendar. So I can kind of show you, here we go. All right. We had 196 backers. So you can kind of see some of and this is just a mock-up. So you can get like an idea, Yvette from Clue, Powergirl, so I don't want to spoil the whole thing, but yeah, you can get an idea of, and each month is going to be available as a virgin print. Virgin meaning that there won't be any writing or anything on it. Well, there won't be any like months or anything on it. And each month will be available for purchase through the after campaign survey as well. So I said 3 different covers. I also have mouse pad options. And one of the cool things that we did is a special black linen cover of Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, as well as you can add this one on. But we also did a black linen Firebitch cover as well. So these are only available through this campaign. I also have some prints that are exclusive for this as well. So there's lots of different fun things that you can get through the campaign. We've also hit quite a few stretch goals, and we're so close to our next stretch goals. We have a stretch goal at 200 backers where you get a notepad, a custom notepad, and then we have another, my Slave Leia collector's card that opens up very soon as well.
And guys, here's one thing that's, if you are tuned in on the YouTube or on Facebook or any of the video channels on Roku, you're seeing us go through right here, but I don't know if you saw at the top, her initial goal was $1,000. She's closing in on $22,000 and almost 200 backers, as she said. This is a hot calendar. And I also saw that you've got, just for like $80, they can get the uncovered edition as well. And
yes.
I would be remiss if I didn't ask about that.
Well, it's exactly what it says. Now, the inside is all the same. So the inside of all the calendars are the same, but the uncovered, this is the
gotcha.
So yeah.
So the uncovered has a unique cover.
Yes, and then there's also another cover as well called Provocative that is an implied nude.
Gotcha. A little burlesque, so to speak.
A little bit, yeah.
Now, how did you initially get into cosplay?
So I started the way that everyone else does. You're born and your parents put you in a costume and then they drag you around and show you off to everybody. It's called Halloween, and most of us do it every year. But no, I found an advertisement for a group that was looking for superheroes to be a part of their superhero charity work. And so I did that. And it just kind of snowballed. So I did all this charity work, and I do whatever I can still, but it's advanced into more like art donations and that sort of thing. So we did all this charity work, and then did Phoenix Comic Con, and I won Geek Prom Queen. So that was super cool.
Right.
So I won Geek Prom Queen, and then people were asking, hey, you going to go to San Diego? So I started looking around, and I got a job working for Marvel Comics at San Diego Comic-Con. So it just kind of developed and snowballed over the years. And then I partnered up with Alfred Trujillo, who suggested, hey, why don't you do your own book? And that was the first AZ Powergirl Cara Nicole photo book. And I printed 50 copies. And I took it to Baltimore Comic-Con, and I took my little print book with my few prints that I had. And I bought a table, and I went to Baltimore, and I sold out halfway through the first day, and I was taking orders after that. And that is now a trilogy, so you can get all 3 of the photo books, and it's like an artist's sketchbook, but it's cosplay. And it's done comic book size. I've had it in multiple stores across the country. They all sell out, and they keep coming back for more. So, it just keeps developing. And then, like I said, we put out Firebitch this year that Alfred drew and I colored and we wrote together. That did really, really well. And I'd been talking about doing Confessions of a Cosplay Diva for a long time. So I'm like, all right, we're going to do it. But we combined it with a pinup book. So instead of having a bunch of little pictures, it's like pinups. Right. And like you get a pinup and then you get a page of, story.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, were you into comics before you got?
Oh, yeah.
So, which were your favorite? Comics, superhero comics, not so much Beetle Bailey or anything, but what superhero comics were you into back then?
I was a huge Black Cat fan. And I also, of course, love Superman. Who doesn't love Superman? Right. So I also collected a lot of old Red Sonjas.
Oh.
So I would hit the dollar bins, and pick up all the old Red Sonjas.
Man, that used to be some of the funnest times I would have going to I grew up in Dallas Fort Worth area. And so there was, back then in the 80s and 90s, there was comic book shops everywhere. And you would go almost every weekend. Some shop was having a sidewalk sale, and they'd have the long boxes out there, and some would be 50 cents a comic, but with bag and backed, or you had the dollar bin, and you could spend just hours out there just going through. Yep. But I always ended up screwing up. I'd go, oh, wait, here's a small run of this comic I've never read. It's only missing one. Well, then I go and have to look for that one, and then I end up with a 10-year, back issues because you just keep chasing it. But, yeah,
it's true.
It is. And that's how I ended up with, I don't even remember how many long boxes full of comics. Most of it was Batman, but I have OCD, and that just doesn't go really well with collecting comics or really collecting anything. But now you're in Arizona, is that correct? Well, I assume with the Powergirl. How, of course, we know from experience here that a lot of the cons have just really since March. And I know that Arizona has been up and down. How has I assume that you had a lot of plans to attend different cons this year. So how did the pandemic screw your year up?
I'm doing a lot more on Twitch, and I'm doing more online stuff. So I'm trying, like, doing shows like yours. These give me an opportunity to get out there and visit with everybody, because that's been the hardest part for me, is that I am a people person. Like, I need my hugs, and I don't have any hugs. It's not just going to con, dressing up, and selling stuff. Like, I really get to know everybody. You know what I mean? Like, people, they bring me their kids, and they're like, look, my baby's growing. And it's like, oh, your baby's growing, and I pet their dogs, and, we've gone out to dinner with people, and, this is part of my world. Like, you guys are all my family, and I miss you. So that's been really hard for me. So now what I do, I have a Patreon as well. And Tuesday nights we do movie night. So
very cool.
Turn on the Zoom, and like, we watched Bill and Ted Face the Music. We watched Zombie Strippers. We just mix it all up, watch all kinds of fun stuff. And so that's something that we do, and that's been very good for me, so that I can socialize again. Right. So
now, I gotta ask, is that parakeets in the background?
Yes, it is.
We have two as well. That's the only reason and anytime we start talking, especially if we're talking a little loud, they start doing that exact thing. And so it sounds just like my living room.
All right. So you understand. I mean, the fact that you knew there were parakeets, I got 3 of them.
Well, we did. And we had a beautiful, beautiful all white one. And last week it came, and the little part at we've got a very, very tall cage, a big giant one. But it had this little gap at the very bottom of it, and that sucker crawled out from under it, and our dogs got it.
Oh, no. I'm so sorry.
And my wife was heartbroken, because it was beautiful, just solid white. I'd never seen one that was just total solid white. And so I've got another cage. I told her I'm getting a white one, and then I want a full yellow one. But anyway, I just heard them talking in the background there. I had to ask. I'm a huge animal lover. I've got 7 dogs, 2 birds, and a snake. My snake's over there. But when you in Arizona, what are the best cons in Arizona for those that haven't made it to cons? And in your opinion, as a cosplayer, and then also on the comic book side, are there different comic cons that are best for either one of those?
Well, Phoenix Comic Con is your big one. That's your big show. And so there's that. But we also have some anime shows, and our big one is Sabotin. And that's like our big anime show. We also have some in smaller areas. Tucson Comic Con is a great one for that part of Arizona, and so we've got lots of little conventions. There's always a library con going on, and a lot of cosplayers love that, especially with the charity groups, because they can get out and have a lot of fun. And those are like nice play cons.
Very cool. Well, I know Meredith and I would like to talk to you off the show here about getting in with some of the cosplayers in Arizona, in the Arizona area. We've got a connection with some in Florida. We're getting a connection with some up in the Northeast, New York, New Jersey area. But if you just we'll talk to you offline about that. But I want to go to a quick commercial break, pay a couple of bills, and then I want to come back. If Meredith is still back there, I saw she just went off camera, but I want to actually play your Kickstarter video for everybody. And so hang tight, Cara. We'll be right back, folks. If you haven't already, tune in, everybody, over on YouTube so you can see Cara. She's in costume, looking beautiful. And then we've also going to play her video here on the Kickstarter. And if all else, tell them we've got on our Facebook and everything that you can find the AZ Powergirl link. But guys, just go to Kickstarter.com. Type in AZ Powergirl or COS-LINGERIE calendar. Either one of those, I believe, is bringing it up. And you've got 5 days left to get on this. And I guarantee you guys, if you like geeky stuff and you like the cheeky stuff, you are definitely going to like this. So stand by, everybody. We'll be right back with Cara Nicole. If I can find the right commercial. Here we go.
I am a unicorn meadow. Hopefully you are 5'4", brunette, and a C cup.
Looking for love during a health pandemic? Try COVID Connections, a new dating app for a new normal.
I'm technically a virgin. I mean, as long as you don't count, like anal.
Find your connection on Instagram at COVID_connections_.
Check it out. MobileEdge.com has award-winning products with innovative features and contemporary, edgy designs that empower you to look sharp and travel smart with your mobile tech. Your beloved, not to mention expensive gaming gear and mobile tech devices are an extension of you, so give them the protection and style they deserve wherever you go. Find them at MobileEdge.com and protect your tech with Mobile Edge. Bring it on. Hey Geek Insiders, Mobile Edge has a special coupon code for our dedicated listeners. Get 25% off your Mobile Edge gear using coupon code GEEK25. That's GEEK25. Geek out.
Now, Meredith makes me caveat those commercials with telling everyone that it's a parody thing. But yes, you can go to Instagram and look up COVID_connections_. But this is the last week I'm telling you guys that, because if y'all don't watch the show enough and you don't know, then. But anyway, go check them out. And Cara, is there any copyrighted music that's on your Kickstarter video? Or
no, actually, that is our music.
Okay. Great. Just wanted to make sure on that, because YouTube, for whatever reason, with my little channel over here, I've been bitched at by Mickey Mouse. I've been bitched at by just about everybody for everything from a 5-second clip to a full-on, clip. But it's usually the music that gets me. So
no, we own the rights to that. Alfred wrote it. So
if all else, if I get bitched at, then I can get written permission from you or get you to whitelist it. All right, and so I'm going to bring that back up here, and I'm going to go full screen, and then Meredith is going to play the video for us. Oh, Meredith, you broke it. Hang on. Yeah, we're not getting the sound. It does this about every other time. Please stand by. Well, right now you can definitely see some of the calendar and some of the reasons why you should back this. See, and look. Oh. Oh.
Supergirl.
Yeah, that's it.
Is that it? You want me to start over?
Yeah, start it over.
All right, hold on a
And
second.
so many more, all in.
I had to
There
bring
we
Meredith
go.
in on a Sunday. She's usually behind the scenes.
It's all right. I love you guys. All right, here we go.
Hey, everybody! This is Cara Nicole. You may know me from such campaigns as Firebitch and Confessions of a Cosplay Diva. I am back and bringing you my brand new 13-month super sexy, super sassy, super fun COS lingerie calendar. I have some new characters for you like Mira, Freddy Krueger, Jessica Rabbit. Just got finished shooting Captain Marvel. And some of your favorites like Supergirl and Powergirl. And so many more, all in lingerie. Confessions of a Cosplay Diva was such a smash hit that I thought I would bring you more in the way of my 13-month super sassy, super sexy, super fun COS lingerie calendar. We've got stretch goals from birthday cards to a re-release of my song Do You See Me, as well as mini prints, collector's cards, and more. I don't even know how much more. Join me for 13 months of 2021 for the super sexiest, super sassiest COS lingerie calendar out there.
And Michael Maxim says, I like it. It's great. Yes, I agree, Maxim. Just one second. And Meredith, I'll get you back. Oh. Whoop, why am I? There we go. Jeez. See what happens when you leave it to me? So anyway, great looking calendar. I've got to ask because there's one in there with you got the blue and purple hair. Love it. What is your favorite hair color? I see it changing a lot.
Like my favorite, like wig or like
Either one or both. Let's go favorite wig and then favorite just, I want to change something. What color I want my hair.
I hadn't thought about that. I like darker hair on me. Like I like the chocolatey browns. But I tried dyeing my hair dark. I tried to to do that, and it just didn't feel like me. I felt like I looked like I should ask for the manager all the time. People just assume that of me anyway, but yeah, I didn't feel like me. I'm a blonde. Like that's where I'm happy.
Gotcha. And you've got those beautiful eyes, and so your eyes, they tend to pop differently based on your hair color. I've just kind of noticed that throughout the images, and so I was just wondering. Now, what about wig?
The wigs, I like the darker the darker browns.
Gotcha. So do you actually change your actual hair color all that much, or you pretty much go with wigs?
No, I wear wigs.
Gotcha. And now one thing that we have discovered, of course, is unfortunately A lot of comic book shops have closed down recently. Yeah. We're also seeing it affecting a lot of the costume shops, ones that I've known about for years and years, because magicians are affected, clowns are affected, everybody is affected that depends on these magic shops and the wig shops and the costume shops. Are you seeing that same kind of thing in your area? Do you know of anybody that has lost their shops, or so far everybody hanging on?
So our costume shops actually closed down. Our 2 big costume shops shut down before the COVID. Like, they were just on their way out anyway. And that was sad. But our comic book stores, I think we lost one. We lost one store. Everyone else has gone online. There's one store that's just like, well, we don't even know if we're ever even going to open again. We're just going to keep doing it online.
And I've heard that from several. That's one thing that we did try to leverage the whole shutdown, is expanding our reach with the indie creators, the comic book shops, the artists, the directors, actors, the whole 9 yards. And unfortunately, we did hear, of several shops that have had to close, some that were on the brink anyway, and this just was the final nail in the coffin. But then we did hear of, several that are actually having better sales now that they've shifted online.
Yeah.
The one thing we don't want to continue make that trend online is the conventions. We do our indie events and we always wanted to do it in conjunction with the brick and mortars. We didn't want to try to take them over or put them out of business. And because that we have fun at them, Meredith goes to a lot of them. I go to the ones in the Austin area, and that's where we've met a lot of great people. And has any of the conventions, is there any that are planned in the near future in your area, or is everything still kind of on pause?
I don't know. The last I heard was Mad Monster Party was supposed to be here in October. And I don't know if they shut down or what. So I'm looking that up. I did hear that they were going to be here in October, but I just don't know.
Right.
No, maybe they still, I don't know. Okay, yeah, check out our events page, October 9th. So they might still be doing it. It looks like they are still up, and they're doing the whole wear a mask thing. It's a small show, though. It's a much smaller show.
Will you go then?
I won't exhibit.
But just to go and maybe. I
don't know. I watch the numbers. I'm watching the numbers. This is not a healthy side of town. Like, this side of town where I live, where this show would be, is actually higher risk. Yeah.
Gotcha. Well, at least you're considering that as far as going. I've seen some people that are just adamant, yes, I would go no matter where it is and what's going on. But and then the others that are the exact opposite. Nope, I wouldn't go no matter what. And Jay is right. Everyone will be Bane. And I have to admit, when this all started, that was the first voice I did. Was Bane when I put my mask on. You just, I can't even do it now. But anyway. Meredith said, yep, we love Mad Monster. We had an interview with Joe Moe a few months back. And that's right, we did. I forgot Joe was a part of that. Anyway, we're going to take one more quick break here, or another quick break, I should say. And so everybody just stand by. We'll be back more with Cara Nicole. Hang on just a second. I always get these mixed up. Here we go.
At Geek Insider, we foster relationships with those in the geek sphere so we can give our audience the insider view of entertainment, tech, and more.
is the legend of the traveling TARDIS. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Subscribe to us wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. Also catch us on the HWWS Web TV YouTube channel. Subscribe today and become part of the legend.
Hi, I'm Penelope.
My name's Kevin.
My name is Ramona.
Hi, I'm Sal.
I am a unicorn meadow.
Gotta stay connected. One match at a time. Life is meant to be lived.
I'm looking to meet that someone special here on COVID Connection.
COVID Connections. Find me here.
Where are you?
COVID Connection.
COVID Connections is not responsible for any side effects, including nausea, dry mouth, constipation, skin rash, loss of taste, smell, shortness of breath, and diarrhea. COVID Connections encourages safe practice of social distancing and face coverings for all dates to reduce the risk of exposure. Ask your doctor if COVID Connections is right for you.
Oh, good God. Not the toilet paper! Not the toilet paper!
I've seen them all so many times. These guys are sending these over to me, and I get tickled every time at them. And again, guys, if y'all haven't seen these, go to the YouTube channel. I mean, yeah, they are funny as far as just audio, but the videos are even more fun, or even funnier, more funny. So anyway, we're back with Cara Nicole, and folks, she has got this Kickstarter that has just been blazing. It's got 5 days left. You got till Friday to get this lingerie cosplay calendar, and she's got some killer little stretch goals. So why don't you tell us about some of those stretch goals?
So we have a re-release of my song Do You See Me, which was the one that was the beginning of the video, but that is actually going to be 3 songs now. And so there's the 3 songs, and there is also collector's cards and stickers, and I don't know what we're at. I'm trying to think. I know that we're 4 backers away from the notepad, so that's super exciting. 4 backers, 4 more backers, and everyone's getting that notepad. Yeah, collector's cards, stickers, the usual fun little extra things. I cannot remember like what we have hit.
And folks, if you go to, or I should say, guys, mainly, if you go to the Kickstarter and you look this up and you scroll down and you look at these images and you see that she is $700 away from Slave Leia, I think you will want to back this just for that alone, that stretch goal, because the Slave Leia is something else, and that's not in the calendar. That was a card, right?
That's a collector's card, yes. So we've already hit the Black Phantom die cut sticker, the Captain Marvel collector's card, the Captain Marvel die cut sticker, the Harley Quinn collector's card, the Power Girl COS lingerie patch. So you're gonna get a patch, the Ash from Evil Dead collector's card, and the Jessica Rabbit mini print, and we added on a Black Cat mini print as well. So once we hit 200 backers, the 4 backers away, then we're gonna then you're gonna get the notepad, and once we hit 22.5, then we get the Slave Leia. So we're super close to that. We're getting there. You can also add on stuff. So like, say you want to get a calendar and you want to get a mouse pad, you can throw in $10 and get a mouse pad as well.
And that's
or
very
you
cool.
can get the Firebitch book and the Confessions of a Cosplay Diva book. You can also add on for prints. There's 5 different prints you can add on for as well. So there's lots of different things. Plus, actually, there's 7 because we've got 2 exclusive prints that you can get either in a bundle pack or you can add them on separately.
That's very cool. And I'm loving the layouts, guys. One, it's not overtly sexual. It's sexy, but you incorporate the cosplay element in there. And of course, you do it classy yet sexy. And I really dig that. One of the things that I saw, which hopefully with 5 days left, you'll hit it, but you got that stretch go of Vampirilla. And I am an old school Vampirilla fan. And it got me thinking, I was like, if you did it this time next year, you could do a Halloween kind of theme, and you could do Vampirilla and Lady Death, Elvira.
So I was actually on a cover of Vampirilla.
Oh, really?
Last year. Yeah, it was issue 2 of Vengeance of Vampirilla. So I was one of the cosplay covers. And I was also the official Lady Death cosplayer for Lady Death Last Stand, which is the board game through Cold War Games.
Very cool. Very cool. I actually, an old school Lady Death fan. I actually met Brian way back in the day when there was only like 6 issues out. And so I've just always been a fan of it. Another one that I'm a big fan of is She, which Billy Tucci is going to be on the show here in about 3 weeks, ladies and gentlemen.
Right on.
He's launching another Kickstarter in mid-October, and so him and Deborah and I have been talking. He will be getting on to Geeky, Cheeky, and Downright Freaky as well, and so stay tuned for that one. I have a She tattoo. I have a She statue in this case right behind me. I am the original She fan. I pre-ordered the first and second issues so that I could get these lithographs, and one of the lithographs I turned into a tattoo. So I've had this She tattoo for 25 years. So right after it came out. So yeah, needless to say, I'm stoked about having Billy on the show.
He's so great. I love Billy.
Yeah, he is, and I love the way that he has done his Kickstarters. He stays engaged, and I've noticed that you do a lot of that as well. You're giving updates. That's one thing that turns me off on a Kickstarter campaign or Indiegogo, is I go in and I see somebody that has hit some killer, milestones that they didn't even expect to hit, and you don't even see an update, or maybe you just see an update. Hey, thanks, we surpassed goal. But you are staying engaged. And as you can see, we've already had some of your fans that have just made their way into the comments throughout the night here from various places. And because we haven't done this yet, we've talked about the Kickstarter, but for those new fans out there, where else can they follow you at? Is there social media that they can follow you on?
I'm on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And I'm at AZ Powergirl everywhere. So you can find the letters AZ Powergirl. You can also find my personal page, Cara Nicole. Follow me there. And I have a Patreon, patreon.com/AZ Powergirl. I'm also on Twitch as AZ Powergirl. Thursday nights, I do movie night on Twitch. So that's everybody can join in on that. And we do public domain movies. So we watch a lot of really old movies,
Very cool.
Weird movies and weird fun things like that. But on Patreon, we do movie night on Tuesdays, and we can watch whatever we want. So that's a small Zoom group where we watch movies, hang out, catch up. We've got a Discord group for Patreon as well. So I'm pretty much everywhere. YouTube, I'm the AZ Powergirl.
It's funny that you mentioned the public domain movies. When Meredith and I first started doing some streaming stuff together, we were testing stuff out with actually another site we worked for, and we went political, and we watched one of the debates, the Democratic debates, and we turned it into a drinking game. That every time they said Trump, we had a drink.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah. We're both whiskey drinkers too, and so by the end of the night we were a little toast. But we talked about doing something like that with the public domain movies, throwing an old movie on and kind of scanning the document or the script and saying, turn it into a drinking game or something. And there is a lot of really good movies that are public domain, because I don't know how other folks do it on YouTube. They show a movie clip they're just fine. They got millions of views. I show the same damn clip of 15 seconds, and Mickey Mouse is knocking on my door or knocking on Meredith's door first thing in the morning. So I don't know what it is. It makes you feel a little sought after at times.
That's how I know you're my people, because that happens to me too. It's like, these people can do all these things and I do anything, and it's like,
yep,
exactly.
Exactly. And I get tickled because, I mean, we're whitelisted for, you'll see when we close out the show, I've got a specific song from Joe Hertler and the Rainbow Seekers. It's whitelisted. I have explicit permission to use it. And every week they ding my show. Every week. And so it's just Meredith disputes it. And then if I have to, I send it over to the agent or the PR person, and then he whitelists it for us. But it's just a pain in the butt. And then my very first one was Mickey Mouse slapping me for a 10-second Snow White clip where I just showed the mirror on the wall thing, which isn't mirror on the wall. But anyway, and Mickey Mouse gave me a cease and desist. And so ever since then, I've hated Mickey Mouse. Now, I do want to ask, Cara, because this is something that I want to, or I have asked a lot of the female cosplayers. When you go to these conventions, you know, A, is your husband right there with you? And then B, even if he is with you, do you still get the bullshit, just guys making inappropriate comments, or, you know, just that inappropriate bullshit?
So my husband is an artist in his own right. So, you know, he's there for business. But we do have separate conventions from time to time, or where one of us will go and one of us will be doing something else. And for the most part, people don't do that to me. I've been very, very fortunate. I'm very blessed that people have just been wonderful and kind and helpful and just amazing. Like there are no fans like comic fans.
Right.
You know,
right.
Like, you guys are the best. I've always had help. I've always had someone back me. I've always had, you know, offers of, do you need me to walk you someplace? Do you need help with this? Let me help carry your stuff out. Do you need food? Do you need what? Like Comic-Con fans are just the most wonderful, kind, generous, warm-hearted people out there. And I really have not had too many issues. Right. Every once in a while, I'll get some jackass that'll say something stupid. But, you know, I usually kind of put them in their place and kind of let them know, like, hey, dude, this is why you don't do that. And actually, in my book, Confessions of a Cosplay Diva, my husband did write a page called So I Married a Cosplayer. And it's about his side and what he sees in that regard.
Now, where can they get the book? The Confessions of a Cosplay Diva.
So the best way to get it right now is through my calendar. But I want to say it's on Indiegogo. I believe I still have a second chance
on demand.
Indiegogo. Yeah. It might be Indiegogo on demand. But I've been so focused on this that I haven't been
right.
You know.
Now let me ask you. This is something we've asked a couple of folks here recently. Do you have a preference between Indiegogo and Kickstarter?
Why not both? Why not both? Why not both? Yeah, it's still available on Indiegogo through Indiegogo/Confessions of a Cosplay Diva. But I do Kickstarter first, and then I roll it over. I used to just do Indiegogo because I was kind of nervous. Like, I wasn't really sure how well cosplay would do over on Kickstarter, and it's done very well. So, you know, everyone has their opinions on what's better or who does this or what. You know, I don't get political, which is funny because I ran for House of Representatives in 2016.
Oh, really?
I did. And it went like worldwide. It was insane. There are people that don't know me for cosplay, but know me for politics.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, no, but I'm more of a let's fix it instead of fight type of a person.
Well, it could be nice if we had a lot more people like that in government these days, because there's just way too much fighting. But we are like a bar around here. We stay away from religion and politics because it always ends up just wrong, one way or another. Somebody says something. But with the cosplay and everything, I'm sure that you have met a lot of people that are into the cosplay as well. Where have you seen in your area, some of the best cosplay? I know we kind of touched on this earlier, but I don't know that we really emphasized, because like I went to a big convention in Austin. Cosplay was, and I went to one that was smaller, about an hour and a half away from Austin, and the cosplay was phenomenal. So did you see that? Is there one over the other where just a lot more cosplay comes in, and that like they do, do they do better contest, or is it location, or is it just kind of in Arizona? Or is it just you guys go and wherever there's a convention, it's where it's at?
It's pretty much that. Wherever there's a convention is where it's at. Like everybody that does cosplay, like everyone kind of knows who everyone is. Because everyone will go to the same conventions.
Right.
Now there is like a disconnect between the anime conventions and the comic book conventions. Like anime people are anime people, and they might still go to the Comic-Con, but they're very anime oriented. And then there's your comic book people that might not necessarily go to your anime shows.
Right. And like I was saying, the big one that I went to in Austin, it was disappointing. One, it was a one that has been around forever. When I went to the Comic-Cons in the 90s, between that and now, that's two different worlds. I always say this. It's the Comic-Cons back in the 90s were just completely different beasts. You'd had half-dressed women at every booth hawking, any kind of comic that had a female protagonist or a hero. And these days it's not so much that. It is more of a family-friendly environment. But when I went to this one, it was just the stars that they had were all, for lack of a better word, has-beens, folks that haven't been on anything in a decade. And I hate to say that because I know they need to make money as well. And there was ones that I was, genuinely happy to see or to be able to go and meet. But it just seemed to me that some of the smaller conventions, had a lot more people there, but had a better class of guests. And that may just be in this area where I'm at, and that I was disconnected from the Comic-Cons for so long. But I have talked to quite a few people in the last few months, and they were, they reported kind of seeing the same thing in various areas around the country. So it's nice to hear that you guys are, sticking together. Everybody goes to kind of the same cons. And I know Meredith saw the same thing in Florida. We made some great connections at Space Coast Comic-Con. Now, you wouldn't think that it was Space Coast sci-fi, but we made some inroads into horror. We made, a lot of indie creator connections. And that's the big thing that we like here at Geek Insider is the folks like yourself that are indie creators, indie artists that are making their way and bring something unique to the table. And yours is the first one that we've seen. We've seen a lot of cosplay. We've seen some sexy layouts, but this was, like I said, it's done tastefully, it's done sexy, and you just have had it. And then that's the big question that I had. When were you surprised that you hit a certain goal, and then when were you just blown away that you hit a goal, or not a goal, a certain number?
We funded in like 1 minute.
Wow.
Yeah, and the last two campaigns funded in like 1 minute. Like everything funded so quickly, and it's amazing. I am just thrilled that that's happened. So this campaign in particular is a shorter campaign. We're actually running this only 2 weeks instead of the full 30 days. So yeah, so I mean, the fact that we've hit 21,932 is just incredible. It's insane. I just cannot be more grateful to have the kind of fans that I have. Like, you guys are just amazing. And so it's just that alone. I think what the last year's calendar, I don't remember what we hit. What did we hit last year? 32? We hit 32 for the last one.
All right, so this wasn't too shocking. You've seen some success in the past with these type of projects, but the one last year, did you run that for a full 30 days?
Yes,
Gotcha.
we ran that for the full 30 days. But because we wanted to make sure, because there's mail issues and there's post office things going on. And all of that we wanted to make sure that everybody got their stuff before the end of the year. And then we also wanted to make sure that we had an opportunity to get Firebitch out before the end of the year.
Gotcha.
So the last campaign, 369 backers, 27,832 is what that ended on. So I'm hoping we've got 5 days left. Usually the last couple of days are like the biggest hit. So, we've got 196 backers now. Like I said, we're 4 away from getting getting another stretch goal. So,
and folks, if y'all are listening out on Indie Vault Radio, you're not seeing the links on YouTube or Facebook, just go to Kickstarter, type in COS-Lingerie calendar. And that'll bring it up. Like we said, she's got 5 days left. She's 4 away from another stretch goal, and then $700 away from yet another stretch goal where you're going to get the Vampirilla cosplay card. And damn it, I had a question. Meredith always laughs at me because I always end up doing this towards the end of the show. I forget my question. Doggone it. And see, she's not here to save me. Anyway, I guess I'll think of it here in a minute. So once again, because we are coming up on that hour mark, doggone it. And I'm brain farting here. Look, there she is. She's trying to save me from the back room. No, that's not it. That's the other show, Meredith. Thanks for trying, though. Thanks for playing. You mentioned, though, that you do some singing and that you've got the tracks coming out for the stretch goals. Is this your first foray into putting your music out there, or is there other music that folks can find from you?
So on Bandcamp, I've got a couple of songs out there that were also from Alfred Trujillo. And on my YouTube, you can find, we've got 2 music videos up on YouTube, and then we've got a bunch of like goofing off, singing at home kind of a thing going on. So yeah, if you're really interested in the music, see our music videos on YouTube. And then, like I said, we've got an album coming out with Firebitch.
Now I remember what my question was. You seem that you stay pretty steady in your work, and like you said, you do this for a living. Do you already have your next project in mind after this one gets shipped out, or is that still?
Yeah, no, the next one's Firebitch, and then next year we've got Unstable Frequencies that we're putting out, which is our horror book.
And what's it about?
Well, it's a bunch of short stories. So okay. I don't want to give too much away, but yes, it's a bunch of short stories all put into a bigger book.
Now, is that for writings by you, by your husband, by you?
It's mostly me on the writing. Alfred has a story for that as well. But yeah, that's kind of been, a pet project of mine. I love horror. I love like your Tales from the Crypt and your Vault of Horror and that sort of thing. So.
Same here. And Meredith and I are both big horror fans, and that's a great segue into, folks, make sure you tune in to Geek Insider on November 9th through the 13th for our next indie event, INDEEVENT. That is our Halloween-ish special. We wanted to wait because of October. You know, there's so much going on, or hopefully going on with the brick and mortar shows and other virtual shows. And so we're going November 9th through the 13th, and we've got some very special guests that are starting to get lined up. Folks from Full Moon Features, folks from Shudder, and then we've got some other feelers out for different things in horror, thriller, as Meredith says, noir. I can't say it like she does, but anything that's kind of that Halloween feel, and we will have that all week long, November 9th through the 13th. Check out indieevent.com to stay up on that. And then if you or anyone you know is a horror writer, artist, comic book, actor, director, anything like that, especially if they're in the indie field, send an email to either Matthew at geekinsider.com or Meredith at geekinsider.com, because we'd love to talk to you. And so we are coming up on the last couple of minutes. So, Cara, I want you to tell everybody again where they can find you, wherever they may look. I just did a refresh. It doesn't look like we picked up any new backers quite yet, folks. Make sure you go to the Kickstarter and look up COS-LINGERIE calendar. Let's get her those last few that she needs for the next stretch go. She's like 4 backers away, and I know there's 4 of you out there that will love this calendar. And so tell everyone where they can find you, Cara.
So you can find me online at AZ Powergirl everywhere, facebook.com/AZ Powergirl. You can find me as Cara Nicole on my personal page. Follow me there. You can find me on Twitter at AZ Powergirl, Twitch at AZ Powergirl. You can find me on patreon.com/AZ Powergirl. You can also find me on Instagram as AZ Powergirl and on YouTube as the AZ Powergirl.
Man, you sound like you said that a few times. And now, usually we save this question for our Geek Speak show where Meredith and I co-host it. But this is, I think, an appropriate one for you on this show tonight. And that is if you could go back in time and give your younger self one piece of advice, what would it be?
Don't be such a little bitch. Just do it.
Oh my goodness, Meredith, you need to mark this one to make sure we get this one for the book, because it's all on Geek Speak. We keep talking. We're going to do a book of all these because we've gotten some really great answers from great folks from various industries, and you answered really quick with that one. I think you've thought about that one before, and maybe. Well, we definitely appreciate you joining us tonight, Cara. Good luck with this last 5 days. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to close things out here, and then we'll say goodbye properly, okay? All right. Thanks so much, everyone. Make sure you check out the Kickstarter. Tune in next week, Sunday night at 9 o'clock Eastern time, if I can remember what times I'm on. I believe next week we are going to cover the Mandela effect and changes to your body. Yes. Your body has changed, and not ways that your health teacher told you it would. So see you next week, folks. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. Good night.
People still falling from a tree. To all my broken lovers